Hi everyone, thank you for watching our new episode.
Today, our guest Carlos Jaramillo has invited Freddy Martinez to talk about Carlos's new book, Picadero. The format that they've chosen to do the interview in is very experimental, and we're very excited for you to see it.
At the end of the show, Anne and I gonna talk about our favorite book from Asia. So stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Freddy Martinez. I work at Aperture, and I'm going to be playing the role of Carlos Jaramillo, who's sitting right here.
Hi, I'm Carlos Jaramillo. We'll be talking about my new book, Picadores, published by Matarile Ediciones. So I'm going to be playing Freddy, who I'll be interviewing him as he's Carlos going through my book.
Yeah, we decided to do the interview in this way because we have a hard time being intimate with each other and being vulnerable, and we need this conceit to go past our hypermasculinity. And I think it's a great way to explore each other in this playful way.
Yeah. So let's start it off. So can you tell us a little bit about this book and how it came to be?
Yeah. So this book is a book that I've been working on for half my life. I was dreaming about it when I was 9 or 10 years old, and it was something that I always envisioned. I wanted to go to Cuba because I wanted to understand who my dad is. He had told me at that point in time that I was Cuban, and I wanted to go find my identity in this strange land that I had no idea about. I barely spoke Spanish. I was in my infancy as an adult, but I knew that photography and the camera was a way to kind of understand who I was and see it reflected in my work. So I went there, and then like 2 hours getting to Cuba, my father, the bastard, he told me that he's not Cuban. So I ended up in this island, this embargoed island, all by myself, with the knowledge that I went there for nothing. And not only was I not Cuban, I didn't even know who my father was. Can you imagine that? So I didn't want to waste money, so I decided to make something out of it, and I didn't want to take photos of cars or, the standard Cuban photos. And I walked around, and then I met this man who races pigeons, and that's how this book started.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's a great story how this came to be.
Is it true though?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for I found out 2 weeks before, not 2 hours before. But everything else was super. You got a good memory. Okay. That was really close.
Yeah, I mean, it's my life. So how would I not remember this?
Hell yeah. Cool. So let's talk about some of these photos that you took.
Right.
First off, could you kind of tell us a little bit about?
Well, first of all, you got to address me correctly.
Yeah. Carlos?
No. Mr.
Carlos. Okay. Mr. Carlos. Yes. So, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about this photo? Like, what does this photo represent to you?
Well, I mean, do you want to kind of, what do you think about this photo?
So,
like, why did it draw your eye?
I mean, to me, what kind of I'm seeing here is a little bit of like Cuba, like I'm thinking about how these people are trapped in this island, and then you're showing this person just trapped in this cage with this beautiful, colorful bird in there. And so, like, is that like something you were thinking when you took this? Or?
No, not at all. I was not thinking about that at all. What I was thinking about was how, well, first of all, I staged this photo. It's all fake. Whether you believe that or not, it doesn't matter. I put the bird in there, and I told Efron, correct me if I'm mispronouncing it. Efron?
His name?
Yes.
Edislandi.
Edislandi. I told Edislandi, I want you to go in this cage because I want to make fun of you. Is that the honest truth? No, it's not. I did this photo because you were seeing a person who is completely given themselves into a dream. They've given themselves into a passion that they have put themselves in this home that they fashion out of rusted metal, fiberglass, um, it, rotted wood. He's putting himself there because I believe he sees something in this bird, and of course, it's not just the bird. It's something akin to a relationship. There's a complex relationship between this person and a bird, and it's something that I think we forget when we look at a pigeon, is that these living beings influence us just as much as we influence them. And he's in this cage with his one of his favorite birds, and I don't think that he has a sense of irony or a sense of bitterness or a sense of that he should be somewhere else. He is where he wants to be. And when I found this moment, I thought that it'd be good to capture it at this time, and not withhold any of the infrastructure that is around, because I think that in a subtle way it speaks to Cuba. It also speaks to his own ingenuity.
Okay.
Right? Am I pronouncing that right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what drew me to this photo. Do you have any other questions?
Did you still feel Cuban when you were in Cuba, like making these photos?
No.
No?
No. I felt very American, to be honest.
Yeah.
My American side came out of everything else. My American side came out. I felt most American in Cuba, and that was a puzzle.
Okay.
Because I don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like an outsider. I felt like I've been kind of always searching for who I am. And I think this is an issue that I think a lot of people on the border experience. I mean, when did you say you come from El Paso?
Yep.
And you're right next to Juarez, and you told me a long time ago that growing up on the border, you were always trying to find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something that I've always been wanting to do, is to find myself. And my American side, what I mean by that is I realized I had a lot of privilege in many things. I'm beautiful, by the way, and I saw that there, but I also have like a sense of like I come from a place that has colonized the world now, and I felt that there.
Yeah, awesome. I'm from McAllen, Texas, the border.
Where's
You're
that?
from El Paso, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm from McAllen.
Yeah, you're from McAllen. I'm from El Paso.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from McAllen.
Yep, that's right.
I'm from McAllen.
Carlos is from McAllen, yes, that's correct.
And Freddy's from El Paso. And so it's right on the Rio Grande, opposite ends of Texas. So like, how did that affect you, like growing up on the border?
In El Paso?
Yeah.
I think it's a similar story to a lot of people, with immigrant parents moving in for the first time. It's just a lot of assimilation and trying to fit into American culture, and making sure we speak English properly. I speak Spanish fluently, but it was more like something our parents didn't like make us be proud of that. And
that's
so
true. Yeah.
And so I get it. They're few years in trying to like fit in also, and just making sure we're fitting in, like, so we're not being made fun of and all this and that. So it was rough, but it was normal at the time. I think as an adult you kind of realize what they were doing, and then by the time it was just normal. It wasn't, and you weren't really thinking about it that way.
Do you feel like you finally fit in now, or do you still feel some tension?
I feel like I fit in. I kind of accepted and started like loving myself a lot more. And
what is loving yourself? What does that
just
mean?
Accepting like who I am, just being more like learning to just be more confident and accepting who I am, and not trying to fit in and please people as much.
Right.
It's like if somebody doesn't like me for who I am, they could go fuck off,
Yeah.
And so, I'm not too worried about what people think anymore. And so that's freeing too. I think that's kind of allowed me to be who I am, especially with writing. I'm able to be a lot more expressive.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
What about you?
I think that now that I became famous, it's much easier to fit in. like most people recognize me. It's not hard to fit in. I can just go into a place and they're like, hey, Carlos, you want to sit over here? I was like, sure. But before that, I had a hard time accepting myself because, you know, a lot of the dominant conversation in the United States is between Black and white cultures. And I think Latino culture is a key component of that conversation. I think that I was trying to find my niche in that environment. Excuse me, sorry. And I still feel kind of that there's still gatekeeping at place, especially in white institutions. There's a certain aesthetic that they like, and I'm good at capturing that aesthetic, but I want to move on from that. I want to start to explore different parts of my personality through my work, like the banal. I want to explore the ordinary sometimes. I want to see, like, I don't want to always exalt everything because there's a beauty in the ugly. I think that's what I'm curious about now.
Yeah, wow, that's great. I totally see that in your work, definitely. Cool. All right, let's get to the next photo. Let's see which one else I had in mind. Where did that page go? So could you tell us a little bit about this next photo right here? The pigeon inside someone's house or apartment. What were you thinking, you know, when you were taking this photo or like after the fact you saw this photo, like kind of what was running through your head at that time?
When you imagine me taking that photo, do you imagine me doing it spur of the moment, or do you imagine me staging it?
It feels a little staged, you know. It feels like maybe you asked him to bring it in his house, or
Okay.
you know, or does he sleep in his house with him, or does he house him in there? It does feel a little staged.
Yeah, those were the questions I was considering when I took this photo. One of the things that I found interesting is that the relationship between the birds and the men is one where it's reciprocal, and I think that I think you told me this through email, is that this photo kind of gives an insight into the inner landscape of these men. I think it shows how the birds' iridescence, the color of their feathers, can kind of, I mean, it must affect their lives in some way. And I think if you show that photo again, if you look at the paint, the swatches of paint, how chaotic it is. I mean, it has the rhythm of a wing, a bird at flight. And I mean, there's like a sense of apprehensiveness, but there's, I think, some sort of evidence that these birds are affecting the men just as much as the men are affecting the birds. And I think that was something I was wanting to focus on, is that reciprocal nature.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, he's imitating like the birds, with the paints and everything, and it's like, how do I bring that into my room? Kind of, yeah.
What do you think about that mirror, having that mirror there? What does that signify to you?
I've never even actually noticed the mirror. I'm actually starting to notice a lot of these other details, like these pictures of women down here. I mean, did you notice any of that when you took the picture?
No, of course not. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm a creative genius, so I don't. It's all coming out of me, you know.
Yeah.
It comes through me.
Yeah,
like, it's not me.
You're just in the moment.
I'm just in the moment.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Cool. All right, let's go to the next photo. Here's the next one.
I mean, I can talk about being famous more.
No, please. Oh man. I'm gonna go for 5 images. Okay.
All right.
So this is one of my favorite images that you took from this book. You know, to me, you know, it's really beautiful. I love how the pigeon, you know, again, they're inside someone's apartment or home. You know, and then you have this portrait of Jesus right here, also spreading his arms, kind of almost imitating the bird in the center. And, you know, they have just this deadpan child right here staring right at the bird. You know, and then all that's on the wall is this Jesus piece, and it just looks so minimal, but there's like, it just feels so chaotic too, but at the same time super quiet and just still. So could you tell us a little bit about this one?
I like what you're saying about this photograph. I mean, there's a spirituality that I've kind of avoided in my life. Would you consider yourself spiritual?
No, I don't believe in Jesus or
Well,
God.
I mean, it doesn't have to be Jesus. I mean, but
spiritual outside of, yes, I would say I'm spiritual. Yeah.
Like, I think that in that photograph, I think that I was drawn to that quiet, and I think silence has always been associated with the sacred. Like when you go for a moment of prayer, or when you're meditating, or when it's early morning and you just had coffee and your stomach's hurting and you just need a moment for yourself, or when you're nervous before a first date, you need to quiet. That silence, that weight, to me is spiritual. And I think what you're saying is there's a side of me as a photographer that wants to come out, that has a spiritual side, that has a dignity, that has these complexities that are waiting to be unearthed. And I'm exploring that in new work, and I'm excited to see where it goes, because there's a tension in my own personality that I haven't reconciled yet. I haven't reconciled how I'm able to exult and find these beautiful, beautiful moments. But once you put a little tension into that moment, you can start to see that a lot of what is around me is beautiful. And it can't just be, the statuesque face or the posture of a god. It can also be the old lady who is trying to get onto the subway train and can't carry her bags. The bend of her wrist, to me, signifies so much. And I think that I'm excited to see where that goes, because there's a lot in me that I want to come out.
That's awesome. And I guess, so what was going on during this moment then?
I was hungover, and I had a tripod out. I was like, little boy, go over there. Is that,
that's awesome. Yeah,
this is his bird. He trained that bird. Do you want to ask about the birds, the bird racing? Or you're not interested in that. I don't think. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too interested in the racing. I'm more just interested of like how this work came to be. It does, to me, this work doesn't feel that you took it because you were trying to show the racing or anything like that.
No, it does not. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Does it too?
No, I mean, it didn't read like that to me when I first looked at it. It's my first time going through it, so it's really.
I mean, there's a lot of wonder in it. Like there's a wide-eyed wonder. That I think that. I mean, I took this when I was. How old was I? You know this.
I don't know, 27? No, 28, 27.
27?
Yeah, 28, 29.
Yeah. I'm 37,
36 now.
36 now. I have a kid. I have a wife. I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
I still see a lot of youth here.
Yeah, I see that too, for sure. I could totally see, the progression from this early on work. This is your newest book, but it's also your oldest work. We started this 10 years ago.
It's interesting, isn't it?
And so, how does that feel? Just, releasing a work, you released so much other work since then, and then finally releasing this 10 years later.
I feel like it's like passing a kidney stone. I don't know if you're old enough.
I've never had a kidney stone.
Okay, well, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's essential and it's crucial because it's your body letting go of something that you've been holding on for so long. I guess I've wanted to publish this work because it's been up in the air for so long. I try to work with Los Sumihilos, this publishing collective out of upstate New York, and they denied it. And I got kind of resentful for that because these were my homies. And then I tried to work with you on it, and then you did some essay that did not work, referencing Elizabeth Bishop about travel. I mean, I do see that there's still insights that I think are great, that still resonate to this work, but it's been troubling to get this work out. It feels like an uphill battle. And why do you think that I've been trying to get this work out so much?
Well, I mean, I read something that you posted that you were dealing, or you at the time you were dealing with cancer, and then you kind of like lost a lot of creativity at the time. You know, did that have something to do with it? I know you told me that you got diagnosed with cancer that week before you went on your last trip, and then that day you got back from Cuba, you had surgery for your cancer, and then yeah, all that happened, and just things weren't working out. It's just like for that whole year, you told me you had a really rough year.
Yeah, that's true. That was a tough year. I got diagnosed with the big C, as they call it, and I didn't know what the future was going to be. It paradoxically made me closer to myself in a way. In a way, it's kind of a way of recovering from that moment. To get this out there means that I've overcome these difficulty, or this difficult situation. Yeah, having cancer is not something that I wish on anybody. Having said that, I was being fed every night. I didn't have to cook for myself. My wife was there, showed me a lot of care and consideration. It made me more attuned to my environment. It made me appreciate life a little bit more. Would you say that that's true if you were to?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, and did that have any effect on this work? Like, did that have some effect on, like, maybe just kind of moving on at the time? Did it affect you mentally? Or?
I think it made me a little bit more vulnerable, right? Do you think so?
I would say so, yeah. I think anybody dealing with cancer might feel that way.
Did you cry? Did you cry for me when I had?
I cried for you a lot. Yeah,
you did?
It seemed like you were in a lot of pain at the time.
You don't cry for anybody, though.
I recently lost a friend. It was actually his birthday yesterday. Spanto from LA, and he was a really close friend. He actually had cancer, but he passed away, and that was the first time I cried for somebody passing away. Yeah, but
do you still remember him?
Yeah, of course. Think about him all the time.
Yeah. No, I think that I cried for myself and for my family. It's good to hear that you cried too. Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on to the next photo. So, I mean, this is just, both this spread is really stunning. I want to talk about this photo, and like, can you tell us about this guy a little bit? Because to me, he kind of resembles a little bit of your father. And, I've seen a lot of photos of him in this book. It seems like he's like almost like the main character in this book. There's other people in it, but I see a consistency with him. Was there some significant aspect with this guy, or like, what did he become your father figure or anything like that? Did you see him as a father?
I mean, yeah, I think the book sequence can make that conclusion. I think that the designer was able to tease that out, but he's a flawed individual. He's and I think that's something that I find very interesting, is that he's a flawed man, and I captured him doing beautiful things. And I think that contradiction is something that I want to explore more in my work, is to allow the flawed side to be captured too, to allow the reality of who he is to be seen more. Because in that photo, if you want to put it back up, I think that one thing I think that you have mentioned to me is that it's a photograph of a state of kind of exaltation. I'm at the low angle looking up. I put him looking to the side. It's a way of honoring, but it's also a way of distancing, a way of hiding, a way of kind of obscuring this flawed side of him, which I don't think is shown in a lot of the photos. And I think that would happen more if I was to investigate myself a little bit more. Do you have any other questions about that? I like the mischievous pairing of images.
Yeah, Martha did a really good job. She owns a publishing company, and she actually, when I spoke to her about it, before we talked, I just wanted to learn more about the edit, and she told me that she sent you the edit for the first time, and you didn't change a single thing. Like, you just ran with it. She said that you felt like it was super strong, and like,
she's so smart.
Yeah, and I know I've spoken with you before. We did try to work on something before, it just didn't work out. The edit wasn't like, it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
And and what I'm seeing this now from, like, what Martha did, she did a really good job putting it together. And thinking about it now, it's just like, this work is so masculine. It's all these men, sweaty men in Cuba, and just like, there isn't a single female in here. And I think having that almost like that female touch to this edit is like kind of, I think really, it almost needed it or something, you know, like almost needed like a female gaze to the work, where I think it really.
I think the writing also does that.
The writing too, yeah. So also the writing from Aida Hurtado, also really helped, you know, bring the story come to life. Yeah. So thank you so much, Carlos.
Well, we gotta thank, you know, our host.
Yeah, for sure. So
Miwa.
Yeah. So I wanted to thank you first for inviting me to interview you on your new book. I wanted to thank Anne and Miwa at Session Press for allowing us to do this, and David at Dashwood also for letting us do this here at his space.
And thank you to anybody who's watching and allowed us to play and pretend for a little bit.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Miwa, what's your favorite photo book this month?
My favorite book is a portrait by Seiichi Furuya. It's not about his wife's picture. It's about their relationship, love, lost, and memory. I think Seiichi Furuya is most important photographer from Japan. What about you, Anne?
I've also picked a book that speaks to a different kind of romance. This is Blind Date by Lieko Shiga, and it's a collection of portraits of couples on the back of motorbikes. I like that it talks about intimacy through these more secret and offbeat moments.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you very much for watching our episode. See you next time.